All right, virtual learners, today I'm going to do a lesson on how you can teach doubles for an addition strategy. So this is usually a strategy that we start focusing on. Students naturally gravitate towards doubles, so the same add-in twice. We really like to focus on using doubles when we're doing sums over 10. So that's like when we would really start running out of fingers. Like 6 plus 6, 7 plus 7, 8 plus 8. We don't have 16 fingers. We don't have 14 fingers. So making 10 is a huge addition strategy that I have another video on my channel, but doubles is another huge addition strategy. Once students know their doubles, then they can use their doubles to help them with near doubles. So for example, if they know 7 plus 7, they can use what they know about 7 plus 7 to help them with 7 plus 8. But I'm probably going to do another video on near doubles. So I work on this a lot in first and second grade. However, I have worked on it with students that are ready in kindergarten, and I have definitely worked on it with students in upper grades that did not get it in first or second grade. So you got to know whenever your kid is ready for it. All right, so some tools that you can use to teach doubles. We don't want to just have kids memorize, although some kids can. I did notice at my school that a lot of kids had their doubles, these doubles, pretty easy. 1 plus 1, 2 plus 2, 3 plus 3, 4 plus 4, 5 plus 5, and even 6 plus 6. I had quite a few students that knew those, and I think the reason why they did is because I know my teachers are really good about playing a lot of dice games, and a lot of those, all those doubles up to 6 plus 6 can be seen on the dice. So today I'm really going to focus on how to help with things like 7 plus 7, 8 plus 8, and 9 plus 9. That's going to be the focus of my video. So you can use tools like 10 frames, or if you have 2 of them, sometimes they're called 20 frames. Two-sided counters is just a counter with 2 different color sides, and if you don't have like these legit math ones, you can easily make them yourself out of paper or magnets or anything easy. You don't have to buy them. And of course there's way more. You can use a reckon rack. This is an example of a reckon rack. It's like a small abacus. Reckon racks have groups of 5 and they go up to 20. So if I'm trying to do a fact like 6 plus 6, I can pull 6 and 6 and I can see 5 and 5 is 10, and then 10 and 2 more would be 12. This is where I started with my son on doubles. He's 5 and he's good with his doubles already. So reckon rack, I already talked about dice. Unifix cubes, these are Unifix cubes. You can have them build doubles. So this is kind of like the reckon rack. So if I had 6 plus 6 on my reckon rack, here's an example of 6 plus 6 with my Unifix cubes. I have 5 blue and 5 blue, and then 1 orange on the end of each of it. So I can see 6 plus 6 is the same as 10 plus 2, or it's 12. This is 7 plus 7. So 5 and 2 and 5 and 2. If I was trying to do 7 plus 7, I can think of that as 10 and 4, and you can see that here, 10 and 4. You can even see it here in my dominoes. 5 and 5 is 10, and 2 and 2 is 4. And once I have 7 plus 7, I can use that to help me with things like, well, 7 plus 8, that would just be 1 more. That's a near double, right? So Unifix, dominoes, and other visuals. Just to give you an example, I made this kaboom game for my son. So Kai's 5. We use the reckon rack a lot. This year we would just do a couple numbers or problems before bed each night, but of course I'm a math coach, so I do nerdy things like that with my son. But just to get him fluent, I made this kaboom game where I used popsicle sticks and I just mixed in abstract number sentences with visuals that would help him think about 6 plus 6 in an efficient way, like that's 5 and 1 more, or 7 plus 7. He likes to do this way for the 7 plus 7. The 2 5s is 10, and 2 2s is 4, so 14, but he can also do the 12 plus 2 is 14. There's some different visuals for 8, 9 plus 9. There's 10 plus 10. If you want to know how to play kaboom, you can just Google how to play kaboom. You can use these popsicle sticks and kaboom for math, language arts, so many games, and if you mix in those visuals with the numbers, they catch on very quickly. Like I said, my son is 5 and he's already able to do this. So I'll just show you real quickly. I'll just go through a couple problems with just the 2-sided counters and the reckon rack so you can see. All right, so say I wanted to do I'm going to just go with the ones that kids usually get stuck on, 7 plus 7. So you can have kids set up 7 on one 10 frame, and I usually tell them start with all one color. So I can start with a yellow 7, and on the bottom I'll do 7. Now I prefer the Rec and Rec to two-sided counters and Unifix for this because they're kids, right? And they knock around the stuff and they fall and they get distracted. Whereas everything's right on the Rec and Rec. I've also seen Rec and Recs, you can build them yourself with like pipe cleaners and beads. Let's say I had 7 plus 7 on my Rec and Rec. I do have videos on my channel about this. So how can you see how much this is? Students might start off counting by ones, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But we want to see how else could you see it? How could you see that more efficiently? Now Kai, he automatically knew to pull that 5 because he had started with his Rec and Rec already. So if you wanted to help students see how they could use the 5s inside of the 7, all you need to do is just flip the 5s, or even just ask them, do you see any other numbers inside of 7 that can help make this easier for you to put it together without having to count? And that includes counting all or counting on. So if I see this representation like this, I don't have to count anymore. I know 5 and 5 is 10, and I know 2 and 2 is 4. And if I know team numbers, I know that 10 and 4 is 14. So I can see it on my Rec and Rec. I can see it on my 20 frames, okay? Some kids, they might have done 7 this way. They might have set up their 7 like this. I've seen a lot of students either do the 5 and 2 for 7, or they like to do these groups of 2. So say, what if they know 6 plus 6 already? They know 6 plus 6 is 12, so can I use that? I'm going to show my 6 plus 6 in red, and then I'm just adding on the extra ones to make that 7, right? So that 6 plus 6 is 12, 13. See, that's what happens to the kids too. 6 plus 6 is 12, 13, 14, or 12 and 2 more is 14. That's similar to this visual right here. Or you could even do this with the Unifix if you had built 6 and 1 more and 6 and 1 more. So those are different ways that you could think about 7 plus 7. 8 plus 8, my son's favorite way to think about 8 plus 8 is the 5 and 3. And I really do think it's because he kind of started off on this Rec and Rec, and he also started off with making 10 as his first addition strategy. So whenever he sees 8 plus 8, he thinks about the 8s as 5 and 3. So he would say 5 and 5 is 10, and 3 and 3 is 6, and 10 and 6 is 16. Lots of different ways you could do it. If they wanted to do 5, 6, 7, 8 like this for their 8 and use that benchmark of 5. Now can you see 8 plus 8? It's the same as 10 and 6, it's 16, okay? When they're going to do their 9 plus 9, you'll have some students that like to think 10 and 8, because 5 and 5 is 10, and 4 and 4 is 8, and 10 and 8 is 18. And you'll have some students that like to say, okay, well, if these two were just on here, I know that would be 20, so I just take off those two, and so that has to be 18. Since 9 is really close to 10, they might even use that. So they might say 20, 19, 18. And then once kids get practicing, they'll go between those ways. They'll use multiple strategies, and that's what you want them to do. So the big thing about if you want students to get fluent with their doubles, because then you want them to be able to use their doubles to help them with harder facts like near doubles, like 9 plus 8 or 6 plus 7 or 8 plus 6. If you want them to use those doubles, then you have to teach them those doubles. And although a lot of them do come pretty naturally to students, I do notice that after 6 plus 6, the 7 plus 7, the 8 plus 8, and the 9 plus 9, they take a little bit more practice. So these are just some tools that you can use to help practice those doubles. All right, have fun practicing.